Hey guys, I'm Major League Fishing Pro Josh Bertrand. Fall's in the air, winter's coming, and your bait selection is gonna have to start changing as that water cools off. Come along with me and I'm gonna tell you why you need to put the worms away and pull out the craws and jigs. So in my hand right here, it's a 10-inch power worm. It's one of my favorite summertime baits. It's awesome to fish out on offshore structure. You get a lot of big bites on it, and it's a bait that will work all year. But as things start to cool off, that water starts to dip, gets out of the 80s, comes through the 70s, and now you're even getting into the 60s. For the most part, I start to put this thing away and I go to a more compact style bait. The big reason is in the summertime, the fish are looking for a big offering. If they're gonna eat something, you know, their metabolism is moving really fast and they've got to eat a lot. They're eating a lot of shad, and believe it or not, in my opinion, to fish, I think fish see this as a shad more than they see it as a craw or something like that. As this tail swims through the water, it looks like a bait fish swimming. So, you know, I'm using a lot of different worm shapes, stuff like this, straight tail worms, curly tail worms, all throughout the course of the summer. But like I said, as it cools off, it's time to put this stuff away. It's time to pull out a jig. It's time to pull out a crawfish. You know, these fish, they don't have, as you get into the winter time, they're not so apt to swim a long way and chase down a meal. They like to sit down on the bottom, eat crawfish, eat easier stuff. I mean, a bass is a warm water fish. They don't love spending a bunch of energy to get their food in the wintertime. So I'm gonna reach for something like a chigger craw, a pit boss, a little compact jig, or even a bigger jig, but I'm gonna want a craw trailer, a more compact bait as the trailer. When I'm fishing a craw or a jig, one thing I do to help me feel bites is I'm a righty, so I've got the rod in my left hand, but as I'm crawling this jig through the rocks, I take my left thumb, and I've actually got it on the line right here. You know, as that water starts to cool down, a lot of times the bites won't be quite as aggressive as they are in the warmer months. So by having your thumb on the line like that, you're gonna feel that subtle bite a little bit easier. So remember, once the fall is through and you're getting into the wintertime, put the big worms away, pull out the craws, pull out the jigs, get on some steep banks, exercise your patience, and get ready to put some big fish in the boat. You're going to.